Attention! This is an emergency broadcast. If you are listening to this, lock your doors, turn on every light, and pray you never hear the sound we're about to describe. Because what lurks in the woods of northern Wisconsin is not an animal. It is not a man, and it is not a story you walk away from. Listen closely, and do not look behind you. The silence doesn't feel right. It's like the air is waiting for something to move, or someone to breathe too, loud. Every summer, a man named Daniel Carter and his family would drive up to a quiet, suffocating village near Lake Superior, where the trees loom like prison bars and the air reeks of rotting pine and dying embers. They camped there with friends, and every year the children were promised a game, a lie, a hunt for something called a snipe. Daniel remembered the drive. The trees passed too slow. The sky felt too close. He said the village smelled like old basements and moldy blankets, like the whole place hadn't exhaled in years. The adults told the children snipes were tall, bird-like shadows, things that hide where the moonlight can't reach, things that whisper your name in voices not their own. But Daniel and the others didn't know the truth. Not yet. On the second night, after the firelight painted the men's faces into something unnatural, the hunt began. He said the fire crackled too loud that night. The shadows looked like they were breathing. One of the men laughed too long at something no one else found funny. Daniel remembered that. He remembered the way it echoed wrong, like the sound got stuck in the trees. They went into the woods. No crickets, no owls, just the sound of small, panicked breaths. And then the rustling. Not wind, not an animal, something moving wrong. And when Mark, the father's friend, jumped out, covered in blood, Daniel saw it. Just for a second, his eyes were too dark, too still, like something had peeled his face on wrong. Daniel froze. He didn't scream. He couldn't. He said it looked like Mark, but hollow, like someone tried to wear his face, but didn't know how to fit inside. The blood didn't drip. It soaked. It smelled like rust and something else, like meat that had been burned, and then frozen, and then burned again. Daniel ran. He hid. And that's when he saw it. A thing on legs that bent too many times. A thing with patchy fur and a mouth stretched too wide, like it forgot how to close. It moaned. Not an animal. Not human. Something learning how to scream. And then it spoke, in Daniel's own voice, calling his name from the blackness. He said the air got heavy, like breathing soup. Thick. Wrong. The thing didn't move right. Its limbs jerked, then stopped, like it was being controlled from somewhere else. And the voice, his own voice, it didn't just call. It begged. Daniel, come back. I'm cold. He wasn't sure if it was trying to trick him, or if it was actually in pain. And somehow, that was worse. Daniel, Daniel. His father found him. Or something wearing his father. The grip too tight. The voice too sharp. And when Daniel looked back, the creature was gone. No sound, no footprints. Just the lingering stench of wet fur and burnt meat. He said his father's hand was warm, but too warm, like it had just come out of a fire. The eyes didn't blink. The voice said, "Let's go." The lips didn't move. Later, back at the cabin, his real father came out of the bathroom. He was wet, confused, said he'd been looking for Daniel for hours. Years later, Daniel would read case file 4242, 1987, a park ranger's report, describing something tall, something thin, something that watches. And now, we must warn you. If you are near those woods, if you hear a whistle that sounds like drowning, do not answer. Do not follow. And if you see a shadow with too many joints, run. Because the snipe hunt was never a game. It was bait. And it is still out there. Daniel said the file wasn't public. He found it by accident, inside a sealed envelope marked internal use only. It mentioned 2 other children who vanished the same summer. Their names had been redacted. One line was underlined. Mimics prey through auditory replication. And a final note at the bottom. Containment not possible. Subject migrates via unknown methods. That's when Daniel stopped talking about it. Forever, sleep with one eye open tonight. It remembers your voice.